Hello, Chef Andrew here to teach you how to make sushi or maki rolls. The first thing we're going to start off is making your rice. I've actually already made the rice, but I'm going to explain the steps. You're going to use a very short grain rice like Cal Rose or any package at a store that says made for sushi rice or used for sushi rice. You're going to cook it according to the package's directions. Usually 3/4 cup if you're measuring it using a standard measuring cup to every cup of water. Alright, so what we're going to do is you're going to cook it, you're going to transfer it from the cooking pot or rice cooker into a bowl where it's going to cool. In this bowl you're going to mix it with 1/3 cup, for every 3 cups of rice that you cook. You're going to mix it with 1/3 cup of rice vinegar that has been heated with 3 tablespoons of sugar and 1 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Once the sugar and the salt has dissolved, you'll set that aside. Once the rice is done, you'll take it, transfer it to a bowl, and using a 45-degree angle, using a rice spoon, which is very thin, very non-stickish, you're going to cut through the rice and then drizzle in your rice wine vinegar mixture, which is actually called sushi vinegar at that point. Alright, once you're done with that, you're going to make sure it's cooling properly. As you're doing this, there's going to be a lot of steam handling. Using a small cutting board or a pad of paper, whatever you want to do, you kind of just fan the rice as you're cutting it. This allows it to cool a little bit faster and to cool properly, but don't stir, don't mix, don't try to fold, just do light cutting. Alright, once you've got that all mixed in there, don't worry about it being too sticky. As it dries out, it becomes less and less sticky, and then you'll set that aside and let it cool for an hour or two. Next, we're going to work on making some fillings for our sushi rolls. I have 2 things I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a imitation crab. Alright. Along with the imitation crab, we're going to add in some tuna. So I got some raw sushi grade tuna. Don't worry about when you're worried about sushi grade tuna. There's no specifications for sushi grade tuna. What you're looking for is that the tuna was properly frozen and thawed. That will make sure that any parasites that were in the tuna are dead. So let's just go ahead and get started here with the crab mixture. So for the crab mixture, you're going to need a couple things. You're going to need some soy sauce, about 1 tablespoon for every 8 ounces of crab meat. Some sriracha, about 1 tablespoon for every 8 ounces of crab meat. 2 tablespoons of mayo. And then just a pinch of green onion or chives. And then pepper to top it all off. Alright. So, I'm going to add in my mayo. I've already minced up my crab. You want your crab to be minced up. I'm not a big fan of chunky crab, so I didn't mince it that fine. I'm going to throw in my couple pinches of green onion here. These are very small chives that I grabbed at the store in the small packages. Just did a quick chop on them. Okay. A tablespoon of sriracha because I want a spicy roll. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. This is where our salt is. And then a couple splashes of fresh pepper. Okay. And then we're just going to give this a mix. And then you're going to notice it's going to start looking a lot like those sushi roll colors that you get when you go out for sushi. Alright. It's a dark orangish pink color. Okay. So now we're looking good. We can set that aside, let that marinate for a few minutes. It also lets any extra liquid from the crab or the soy sauce or mayo that didn't get mixed in to drain past the bowl, and then we can use the top, which is a little bit drier, which is what we're looking for. Okay. Now we're going to be working on the tuna. The tuna is pretty standard. Again, it's just raw tuna. It's not cooked in any way. It was properly frozen and properly thawed. All parasites, if there were any, should be dead. For this, we're going to use, again, I'm using a spicy tuna roll. So I'm going to use a tablespoon of soy sauce to marinate this. I want spicy, so I'm going to use a tablespoon of sriracha. No greens, leave this aside. I'm going to use half a teaspoon of your rice wine vinegar. That'll make a good marinade. I'm going to hit some pepper in there. And then we just give it a good mix. Alright, now we just set that aside. Alright, and then we'll come back when our rice has cooled to a significant degree for me to work with without becoming over mushy. Alright, so we are back. I finished getting all my mise en place together. My rice is sufficiently cooled. I have my crab that's been marinated. I have my tuna that's been marinated. I've sliced up and julienned some cucumber. English cucumbers are usually the best. I've got my sashimi all ready to go. And then I want some nice creamy texture in there to kind of bring everything together. So I got some cream cheese, which will also bring some flavor as well. I have my additional sauces and seasonings on the side here because I'm also going to teach you how to plate this. And in addition to all of that, you're going to need a small container of a mixture of rice wine vinegar, salt, sugar, and water. This is for your hands. This is so that the rice doesn't stick to your hands. If you're using gloves, you're still going to need it because the rice is still going to stick. You just dip your fingers in there, kind of rub them around, and you'll be ready to roll your rice. Alright. Now, one thing that you probably all do not have at home are the bamboo rollers or sushi rollers. It's a sheet of bamboo sticks tied together with string that you lay everything onto and you roll it up, and helps form your maki rolls. Since I know that at least most of you will not have that, I'm going to be using this to show you guys what else you can be using. This is a sheet of aluminum foil that I folded into a nice square shape, and then I plastic wrapped. Alright, it's sufficiently flexible for me to be able to roll, and has enough structure for me to allow to form the maki roll. Okay, so once you've done that, again, you're looking at a square roughly about 8 to 10 inches by 8 to 10 inches. Just use a piece of aluminum foil, fold it over on itself a couple times, and then some plastic wrap. The plastic wrap will help you not have the rice stick to this as you're rolling everything. Okay, so pick a nice side, hopefully the side that you haven't had folds on. If I have folds on it, I don't want to use that side, so I'm going to use the other side as my base. Okay, so we're going to start with this first. Alright, so the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to get your rice down. Okay, rice. Now pack this down. Got my hands a little more wet. They seem to be working a little bit better now. The thing when you're cooking sushi rice, make sure you do it according to the package. Otherwise it'll come out really starchy. So you need to be able to make sure that you're rinsing your rice properly and other such things. Okay? take off some more right here. All right, from here, we're gonna add in our fillings. Okay, so we'll start with the solids first. So our cucumbers, I'll lay about 3 together on each side. A stick of cream cheese to run the length, and then we're going to use our crab mixture. Not a lot, just enough to spread out into a nice even layer. Because we want to be able to close this. Okay. So now we're looking good. I'm also gauging this. I'm looking like I might need a little extra rice to do the seals. So I'm going to take some more rice real quick. And I'm just going to put some right down here on the edge. I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love any type of sushi dish. Sushi is the Japanese word. It starts with a Z instead of an S. Sushi Maki is what we're making right now. It's a roll. And then, of course, there are other types of sushi. All right, so we're going to take this and we're going to roll it. Okay, then we're going to lift up on our foil roller here and continue to pull and bring all of that down. Okay. From here, you can check to see if the rice has gotten together. If not, you can take it, do a quick little pull with your hand. You're gonna not squeeze it. You just want to tightly pack it. So that it doesn't fall apart. So that it doesn't fall apart. From here we can take our roller off. We have a nice good roll. You can take a look at it around it, make sure it's all sealed properly. I just want to make sure that's sealed there. Okay. Alright, from here, this roll is done. Okay. A little bit of topping after we slice it and plate it, and then we're looking really good. So I'm going to set this aside.